Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Pride and Prejudice is a classic novel centered around Elizabeth Bennet, one of 5 sisters in a genteel but financially strapped English family. The narrative explores issues of marriage, morality, and misunderstanding. Elizabeth's sharp wit and free-spirited nature often clash with the societal expectations of her time. When she meets the wealthy but aloof Mr. Darcy, their mutual disdain slowly turns into understanding and love. The story critiques the class consciousness and gender inequalities of early 19th century England through the romantic trials of the Bennet sisters, emphasizing the importance of marrying for love, not money or status. Let's deep dive into the book. Arrival of Mr. Bingley. Pride and Prejudice begins with the news that a wealthy young gentleman, Mr. Charles Bingley, has rented the Netherfield Park estate, stirring interest among the local families, particularly Mrs. Bennet, who wishes to marry off one of her 5 daughters. When Mr. Bingley, his sisters, and his friend Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy attend a local ball, Bingley is taken with the eldest Bennet daughter, Jane, but Darcy's aloofness and refusal to dance with the second eldest, Elizabeth, mark him as proud and disagreeable. Jane and Bingley's growing attraction. As Jane's relationship with Bingley develops, she visits Netherfield and falls ill, prompting Elizabeth to stay at Netherfield to care for her. During this time, Elizabeth observes both Bingley's genuine affection for Jane and Darcy's haughty demeanor. Despite Bingley's sister's evident disapproval of the Bennet family's lack of propriety, Bingley continues to show interest in Jane, indicating the potential for a deeper relationship. Elizabeth's encounter with Mr. Wickham. Elizabeth meets Mr. George Wickham, a charming and handsome militia officer who quickly shares with her his past grievances against Darcy. Wickham claims that Darcy denied him an inheritance unfairly. Elizabeth's dislike of Darcy deepens as she sympathizes with Wickham, not knowing his unreliability. The Netherfield Ball. At the Netherfield Ball, interactions become strained. Darcy asks Elizabeth to dance, and she reluctantly agrees. During their dance, their conversation is tense and awkward. Meanwhile, the behavior of Elizabeth's younger sisters and her mother's overt matchmaking embarrass Elizabeth, and Darcy's criticisms of her family's behavior begin to make sense. Collins and Charlotte. Mr. Collins, a pompous and obsequious clergyman who is also the heir to the Bennet's estate, proposes to Elizabeth. She refuses him, valuing her own independence and disliking his personality. Collins quickly rebounds by proposing to Elizabeth's friend, Charlotte Lucas, who accepts him, pragmatically securing her future. Darcy's first proposal. Unexpectedly, Darcy proposes to Elizabeth, declaring his love despite his reservations about her family's social status. Elizabeth rejects him, citing his arrogance, his role in separating Jane and Bingley, and his unfair treatment of Wickham. Darcy is stunned, but writes her a letter explaining his actions. He believed Jane indifferent to Bingley, and he exposed Wickham as a fortune hunter who once attempted to elope with his sister Georgiana for her inheritance. Lydia's elopement. Elizabeth's youngest sister, Lydia, elopes with Wickham, risking disgrace for the entire family. Darcy, upon learning of the scandal while Elizabeth is on tour with her aunt and uncle, takes it upon himself to find the couple and arranges their marriage at his own expense, thus preserving the Bennet family's reputation. Bingley and Jane reunited. Bingley, guided by Darcy, returns to propose to Jane, who happily accepts. Elizabeth learns of Darcy's role in uniting the couple and begins to see him in a new light, recognizing his true character and generosity. Elizabeth and Darcy's understanding. Lady Catherine de Bourgh, Darcy's imperious aunt, confronts Elizabeth with rumors that she and Darcy are engaged. Elizabeth's spirited defense of her right to make her own choices impresses Darcy, who again proposes to her. This time, with a deeper understanding of each other and their mutual respect, Elizabeth accepts. Conclusion of matches. The novel concludes with the marriages of Jane to Bingley and Elizabeth to Darcy. The relationships of both couples, formed out of genuine love and understanding, stand in contrast to the other marriages in the novel. Elizabeth and Darcy settle at Pemberley, where they maintain a close relationship with Jane and Bingley and Elizabeth's family, who are frequent visitors. The story ends with a reflection on the happiness of the principal characters, secured after overcoming personal pride and prejudices. Let's explore together the main themes and concepts of the book. Class and social status. Pride and Prejudice intricately examines the influence of class and social status on personal relationships and societal perceptions. The characters' awareness of social hierarchies affects their interactions and marital prospects. Elizabeth Bennet challenges these class prejudices through her critical view of aristocratic snobbery and her resistance to marrying solely for economic security. The novel highlights the limitations imposed by social class, but also suggests that integrity and personal virtues can transcend societal boundaries, as seen in the evolving relationship between Elizabeth and the upper-class Mr. Darcy. Marriage and gender roles. Austen portrays marriage not just as a romantic union, but as a practical and economic necessity for women in the 19th century. The novel opens with the assertion that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife, setting the tone for the social expectations surrounding marriage. Through the various courtships and unions, Austen critiques the limited roles and opportunities available to women, who must navigate a delicate balance between financial security and personal happiness in their marital choices. Pride and Prejudice. The title concepts are explored as personal flaws and social obstacles. Darcy's initial pride stems from his high social standing and leads to his dismissive behavior towards those of lower status, while Elizabeth's prejudice, based on first impressions and class consciousness, blinds her to Darcy's true character. Their journey toward understanding and love involves overcoming these faults, suggesting that personal growth is necessary for true companionship. The novel argues that both pride and prejudice can be overcome by openness, humility, and the willingness to see beyond superficial judgments. Individual versus society. Elizabeth stands out as a character who frequently challenges the expectations imposed by society. Her sharp wit and moral convictions often put her at odds with the conventional paths laid out for women of her time. This theme explores the tension between individual desires and societal expectations. Elizabeth's choices and stance in life reflect a broader commentary on the pressures to conform to social norms and the courage it takes to defy them, advocating for the individual's right to personal happiness and choice. Influence of first impressions. The novel initially explores the misleading effects of first impressions. Darcy appears proud and aloof, while Wickham seems charming and trustworthy. However, as the story progresses, these initial judgments are revealed to be flawed. Austen uses this theme to critique the quick judgments society often makes based on superficial traits or rumors. The evolution of Elizabeth and Darcy's relationship highlights the importance of revisiting and revising first impressions, promoting a deeper, more considered understanding of others. Let's talk about the author. Jane Austen is an iconic English novelist born in 1775, celebrated for her keen observations on Georgian Regency England society, particularly focusing on women's dependence on marriage for social standing and economic security. Austen's novels, including timeless works like Pride and Prejudice and Emma, are known for their wit, irony, and masterful exploration of human relationships. Her writing style combines free, indirect speech with a narrative voice rich in irony, offering both critique and entertainment. Austen's works have continued to resonate, influencing literature, film, and popular culture, and remain beloved worldwide. She passed away in 1817, leaving a lasting literary legacy. Sincere thanks for watching. If you found this summary helpful, consider taking a moment to hit the subscribe button like or share the video. If you have any feedbacks or book requests, make sure to leave a comment. Regardless, I wish you a great day.